Good day to you online viewers. My name is Nancy Yasha. Today we are going to be looking at physics, specifically a topic under today we are going to be looking at density, volume, weight, mass, and force. Okay. So with these topics, I hope to say you are going to pay extra attention so you should be able to get each and every concept. Okay. So here we are actually first going to start with density. What do you understand by density? It's supposed to click into your mind what you really understand by what? By density. Okay, so we get back. It says density is mass per unit volume. Okay, so having looked at the definition, we're actually going to look at the SI unit. The SI unit is the standard measure of something, or let's say for instance you saw what you find at the end, it is what the SI unit. So the SI unit for density is kilogram per cubic meter, which is this. Kg meter, as you can see the cube, or you can also be grams / centimeter cubed. Okay, so this is the SI unit. After looking at the SI unit, we are going to look at the formula for density. How do we get into what? How do we know density, or how do we solve for density? Okay, so the formula is density itself, to say we're solving for density, is equals to mass over volume. Okay, so having looked at that, we're going to dive into volume. What is volume? So volume is the amount of space occupied by an object. Let's say for instance you put water in a bucket. That amount of space for you to be able to measure. Sometimes when let's say you are selling maize, the way you measure that is what volume, because this is the space occupied by what? By an object or even a substance. Okay. So the SI unit for volume, it is cubic meter, which is actually abbreviated as M with a meter here, okay? With a cubic here and a meter here, okay? The formula, how do we derive to volume? What formula do we use? Okay, so the formula that we use to solve for volume, it is volume, okay? Let's hope you are following. Volume is equals to length times breadth times height. This is how you solve for volume, okay? So here, the instrument that is used to measure volume, what do we use to measure volume? Okay, so the instrument we use is a measuring cylinder. Okay, I bet all of you know what a measuring cylinder is. Good to know that you know. We continue. Okay, we are going to look at weight now. What is weight? What do you understand by weight? Okay, so weight is the attractive force exerted on an object by what? By gravity. As you know, say gravity is the pull of something. Let's say for instance I were to throw this, for it to come down, that's gravity. So this is actually the attractive force that is exerted on an object. What is the SI unit for what? For weight. Okay, so the SI unit for weight, it is Newton. Okay, so take note on this one. Here the SI unit for weight is also the same as the SI unit for force. Okay, we're going to look at that when we look at force. So you should take note of that so that you shouldn't get confused as you'll be solving for weight. Okay, so here weight, we are also having the formula. How do we derive to weight, or how do we solve for weight? So to find weight, you say weight is equals to mass times gravity. Now here you might be actually tempted to make a mistake. So let me just emphasize on something here. When you're looking at weight, when you're taught to solve for weight, remember to say weight and force are actually having the same SI unit, which is Newton. But when you are solving for weight, be able to say where you are supposed to put acceleration on force, on where to put gravity. These are the common mistakes that pupils make. So be able to identify to say, okay, now I'm dealing with weight and it's supposed to be mass times gravity. Okay, I'm good. You've taken note of that. Okay, so the instrument that is used to measure weight, it is spring balance. I think all of you have seen it. Sometimes they use it for milling or even by the clinic that side. The thing that they put babies on, that's the one they say spring balance.